Snap, I'm gonna fall off the chair. Excuse me. Jeez. All right, we squared away. We're good. What's going on, everybody? Welcome back. If you're new, welcome too. You see we got a slightly different setup. You see the chair, you see we got the knee up, like we're really kicking it. Real quick before we get into the video, gotta say thank you guys, each and every one of you. You got me past 1,000 subscribers, past 20K views on one of my vids. Like, everything's going up. I'm seeing it. Salute to y'all. But as you can see in the title, today we're going to be talking about prices that you pay for samples. What is a good price to pay? Recently, I've been getting that question asked me a lot, and I've been responding to people in their specific instances. And I said, why not bring this into a video? I'm going to give you the bottom line up front. There is no specific price to pay for samples. Yes, to a certain degree, you have industry standards that you can follow, but it doesn't always apply every single time. I wanted to start the video out with this diagram, and it pretty much applies to every kind of service that you could pay for. So you see on this triangle diagram, you have quality, time, price. The more you lean towards two characteristics, you're going to have to give up something. So if you want quality work that's cheap, it's probably going to be done slow because that manufacturer is not prioritizing you. It's just a general rule for trade-offs. You know, it applies to samples too, because if you're going to a manufacturer and they're giving you a cheap price and they're telling you, hey, we can knock this out for you in a week, quality is probably not going to be that great. So you may want to find someone that you do spend the extra dollars with, where there's some kind of way they could promise you that quality and they could promise it to you in a decent amount of time. Personally, I'm always going to say to go for the higher quality, take your time. You might have to spend a little bit more, but at the end of the day, whatever you're spending is an investment. So aside from that diagram and that general rule of thumb, I have a few questions that you can ask when you're looking at these manufacturers and you're thinking about making samples, things to just keep in mind. So number one is, where are you getting your sample made? Straight up, everything about making clothes in the US costs more than making it overseas. That has to do with exchange rates. That has to do with how much they pay their employees overseas versus domestically. Everything about making a sample out here is going to be more expensive out here as in the US. I've seen prices for like a basic t-shirt sample go into the $150, $200 range, depending if you're working with a specific contractor versus a whole manufacturer with all these employees. Like, it's a lot of nuances to it, but for a sample in the US, I would budget at least $200, like, no matter what you're making. And as you get into that pants, jacket category, you could be paying up to $800, $1,000, $1,200 for a sample, because mind you, when you do the sample out here, they're going to give you the full gambit. So you're really paying to get the pattern done, because they have to make the pattern to make the sample. They may not give it to you, they may not include that in the price, but they do have to make the pattern to make the sample. They're probably going to do a muslin sample, which is a sample where they make it out of a cheaper material just to check the shape and fitting and everything of that. And then they're going to do a sample in the actual materials of whatever that final garment is going to be. So yeah, in the US, you're paying anywhere between $250 to $1,000 plus for a sample, depending on what you're making. Which brings us to the second thing to keep in mind, which is, what are you sampling? Are you making simple things? Do you just need a cut and sew t-shirt or hoodie like you want a custom blank for your brand? Or are you going all out? I want to make Louis Vuitton monogram denim jacket that's studded with all these materials. The more you go up there, the harder it is to avoid spending a lot of money. When it comes to a t-shirt or a hoodie or something simpler, you can kind of still finesse that in America. You might can just find a seamstress or somebody that understands garment construction very well, and they'll take a modest number, that 200, 250, 150 range of money. But the more detailed and intricate your garment is, the harder it's going to be to try and find a way to keep the prices low on it. However, if you go overseas where just clothing production tends to cost less, yeah, you might can get what you're looking for. It may not be the full Louis Vuitton quality, but they could get pretty close, you know what I'm saying? And then the price of the samples over there, it might be worthwhile, you know what I'm saying? If I say, you know what I'm saying, one more time. So although overseas you may not be able to get the exact quality you're looking for, they can get pretty close for the price. This is where the whole trade-off thing comes into play, I almost said it again. Overall, sampling clothing production is going to be cheaper overseas, specifically China. It's going to cost less over there than it will cost to make it in the US. So the final thing to keep in mind, which is more specific for overseas manufacturers, what evidence have they shown you that they can make what you want? So you need to factor this in, because if they can show you pictures and videos and all of these details of previous things that they've made that's similar to what you want to do, you might be willing to spend a little bit more on that sample because you have a higher likelihood of it coming out correct. But when you're taking a risk on a manufacturer, you may not want to invest all that money because you don't know what it's going to come out like. If they're not sending those pictures, showing videos, if their Alibaba page looks kind of blank. So you definitely want to keep in mind what kind of evidence can they show you that they can do what they're promising that they can do. So I hope this video helped answer some questions. The pricing of sampling can be all over the place. There's no specific go-to, but like I said, domestically, expect to spend 200 plus. Overseas, I would budget at least $100 to sample whatever you're trying to get into. So I hope this video was helpful to you all. Please, because I'm asking you, please like this video and comment down below what topic you want me to go over in the next video. I hit 1,000 subscribers. I want to know, I want to talk to y'all. Should we do a Q&A? I don't know. Throw out some suggestions. We'll figure out something. But besides that, everybody have a great day. I'll see you all in the next one.